Hello guys, you're probably wondering where I've been, and the truth is that I've been here. I've just didn't have the time to produce a video for you. We're back now though, and we're gonna have a quick look at BTC. And also there was a fight in the Core Iron cycle team last week in the vote. During the vote, well, not during the vote, for the vote, we've had well, both RUNE and FTM having the same votes. So I decided to go for RUNE because we haven't had a look, if not at RUNE at all, we haven't had a look at it for a while. So it's going to be BTC and RUNE. Now before we go, let's also remind you guys that you can have access to daily updates in my Discord group. I'm also currently offering a special deal for the summer period because I understand activity is a little bit low. I also understand that a lot of you have possibly lost a bit of your capital following the recent move to the downside. So for more information, of course, you can have a look at the caption. You can join the free channel as well, and contact me should you wish to have more insights and more updates in the markets on a daily basis. So without further ado, let's have a quick look, and let's not also forget that none of this is financial advice. It's educational with a purpose to support your analysis. So let's go and start off with BTC first and RUNE. You well know what my main scenario is. Okay, we've talked about this W, X and Y for months. Okay, and you might think, some of you might think that we might be done here, okay, and we're gonna move higher. I'm telling you that I'm not too confident about any upside, okay. In the short term, perhaps yes, but not in the medium or long term. Which means, despite that we are supporting the W, X and Y still, okay, and then the fifth up, we also have to take note of the fact that we have actually visited territories we've never visited in this run, okay, after the bull case, of course. We've broken to fresh territories, guys. We reached a December 2020 price low around the 24K, okay. Now, with that done, okay, we also have to mention that the alternative, which I'm going to show you, which has been an alternative forever as well, it's got more probabilities of happening, not only because we have gone into lower territories, which makes the possibility of visiting these territories again more likely, but also because we have had a lot of the other alternatives being invalidated, and we knew they would get invalidated, but we had to have them there. So W, X and Y still yes, but guys, if we do go and close below 28,565 for a consecutive 3 days, I'm going to change the main to the alternative. We're going to see at the short term, but before that, let's have a look at what is that alternative. It is the cycle degree being done, okay? And you know that we've talked about this for ages. Now we're looking at the log, guys. Now I don't recall exactly where one starts, but as a guide, approximate, I would even say, this wave can go down. Not just to the 50%, but perhaps even to the 62%, okay? This leg can go down. A and B is done. The 161 extension brings us down to 14. It's not necessary a case where we're gonna go down then on the third, because you know I've already got the third here, right? And I will show you the alternative. But look at this. It is possible to even go down to around the 11K. Okay, look at this cluster at 680. This is a very concerning cluster down here, guys. It doesn't suggest anything. It's just a number we need to keep in mind if things get very, 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 very bad. Now, since we don't have, we're looking at the third over here and the fourth, right? And we're looking at the fifth. We are going to make an assumption that wave 4 high has been done around 3150, just for the sake of receiving a fifth target. And we'll go down to 23. Actually, I have to be fair and move this up to 2450 because BTC on Binance has done a spike, so it's fair to do it that way. Look at this. The 100 Fibonacci, which is a potential fifth low end, is done at 16K, which is also the 50 Fibonacci. In the long term, don't forget, guys, we're still bullish, right? We're in a bear market indeed, in theory, and in practice, if you look at it, the 200 over above the 50, but sentiment changes at 50. Okay, so in the long term, even longer term than the moving averages don't tell always the full story. Sentiment is still bullish above the 16K. Okay, long term, I repeat. So that becomes a level, the 16K. My level was 23K 4 months. Okay, if we break 23K, guys, the next of my levels is 16K. And if we break even that, it seems like the 10, 11K becomes a case. But I have to tell you, I also have another number, the 9K. I'm not going to tell you how that comes, but if you're a member of my Discord, you would know. And about also when we would expect it to happen. So that is the alternative. And closest alternative, I would say. And then we also have this. This is not a WX and Y. It could also be a WX and Y. Okay, guys? It could also be a WX and Y. And I will show you how. I will show you now how. WX and Y. This is A and this is B. And this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We'll get an ending diagonal in wave C of this WX and Y. It would be an ABC with C wave being an ending diagonal. But we're looking at an ABC here now. Yeah. So the flat in the flat, the zigzag in B of the flat, and an ending diagonal in wave C of the flat. Okay. I was asked by many, why do I not see this as a running as an expanded flat? Because, guys, the expanded flat, yeah. Look at this. This is the first wave, right? The expanded flat should come down to around 11K. Okay, 15K for the third. Now, using guidelines. So if it's going to go there, because that's going to last, there's going to be a fall that is going to be going for a year or so. That's not going to be part of wave 4. It's going to be part of a cycle wave 2. That's why I don't see an expanded flat any longer, because it's taking too long to complete. Wave C of flat, it's fast. Okay, unless if we see an ending diagonal. That's why this is the case. The alternative 2, dead. You remember this? And the other one, which I was asked all the time about this triangle, dead. There's no triangle here. Everyone had a triangle apart from me. Now, let's leave this and let's go to the short term. That means I will take you in the 1 hour chart. Okay, and here, guys, there is so many different variations. I cannot even tell you where to begin. I cannot even, well, anyway. As I said before, I don't think we're done because it looks like to me this is 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we're gonna go for a 5, okay? Why, you might ask? Because if we are supposedly done here, I'm looking, I'd see an ABC and not a 1, 2, 3. And we're expecting a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. I am personally fond of an A, B, and a C. Okay, and I don't think the wave C is done yet. I see more upside coming here, guys. Okay, I see more upside coming. We're not done with the upside yet, in my educated opinion. One level to remember, up at the cluster. It's a dynamic one. two levels to remember: 38 at 31,237, and then of course the 50k at 30, the 34k at the 50. Then again, we start from wave 2 all the way down. Actually, sorry guys, again I will go here at 25.30. It's 25.30 the level that is the low. So my apologies. We're looking at 32.50. Yeah, we're looking at 31.90. We're looking at 33.70, 35. 35 is again a level. Okay, so if this 1 and 2, my third is extended. Obviously, look at this hourly candle. Boom. So we're gonna go and perhaps do, well, you know, usually we do correct back to the 100, but you know, we can assume that we can go higher as well. We can actually even go up to 35. We're still short and bearish. Okay, even up to 35, and from there one more leg down to 21.50 or so. Okay, and from there we go up. Now, in my opinion, 23 should hold. If it doesn't hold, very likely we're gonna change to the alternative, which is the closest, the closest competitor for now. Now I'll take you a little bit further in, okay, and I will show you what I see here. We've played around with this structure quite a few times over the past few days, because it looks like you've got a triangle here, but then it's a triangle that in a solo case it's nearly impossible. It has a very big wave A. Imagine this: A, B, C, D, and E, and then what? You're gonna go for a 9 triangle, 9 wave, or you're gonna go for a triangle in E. It just doesn't make much sense. It's not impossible, that is not, but it's not much probable. Okay, it's two different things. I had this as W, X, and Y. I changed again. Why? Because this is what the structures are telling me. Okay, we have to adopt, guys. It doesn't matter who's right, who's wrong. And I think you've known that. For me, I'm going according to what the price and the volumes tell me. So now the most recent change I did was this. Now this is wave A. This is a W, an X, and a Y. And the W is a double three. It's just a simple zigzag. X is a triangle, and wave Y is a flat. Okay, so this is what we have here. And then we go off with a leading diagonal in wave 1, and then in wave 2, although I don't like the correction length of wave 2, I would prefer it to be something bigger. And then I looked at this and I didn't make a change, just so you see how many changes we have to do on a daily basis. 3, triangle, and 4, and 5. But then again, we went below the 4, so that's not valid any longer in the short term, right? So, because we do have an impulsive move here though, what we have to do is adopt and find out what is this structure now. What could this be for you? For me, it's probably 1 and 2. Then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 probably in here. And then ABC, ABC, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 internally. Or maybe even our third is here. Okay, and you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it is still a 5-wave leg upwardly. And that should be in the microwave, excuse me. So that's what it is, the case that I may most likely, you know, not most likely, yeah, most likely the case, but this is what I see. So you got A, B, C, D, E in the fourth, and the fifth, that's the third. We'll go down for the fourth. We're still valid. And above 29,647, that's not going to change. Now, though, we do have our first, our second, our third, and our fourth. So we'll go all the way ahead and boom. Where does this bring us? Guys? It brings us to 3765, 31249, 32049, 32631, 32870. Where's our previous high? Top 3150. Previous wave 4 at 3250. And that is a cluster, as you can see. We're looking at zones here, okay? Exact levels don't really matter, especially in Bitcoin. So this is where I'm thinking we're at. Okay, now I did have a variation here, okay, because we need to be able to prepare ourselves for anything that happens in the markets, and this is what we're doing in the group. That our wave 4 is done. This is a leading diagonal. This is an A, B, and we're gonna see. Well, probably might even get one more leg up. A wave C. Yeah, and from there, start moving lower down, guys. So it is also a possibility that our wave 4 is done. And this is a leading diagonal. I repeat, A, B, and C. 5 wave leg up for what? Exactly, for a flat. Okay, and from there down. What do we need to pay attention to here? We need to look at the 79, which is around the 30.88. We could go to 31.20 as well, or even a bit higher. But if we break above 31.5 for a 1, then our main is the main. Okay, but until then, the alternative is also quite possible. That is the variation I like to call. Now, let's go and have a quick look at RUNE. Where is RUNE? There we go. I'm gonna of course go out first and start on the daily, and then we're gonna go in. The daily on RUNE, guys, it looks like it's doing a correction that is a W, X, and Y, and indeed in the second wave, primary wave, because it recently started trading versus the BTC. Of course, we're looking at a different degree. So if, I repeat, if we lose 33K on BTC or so, we're very likely going to lose the $2 as well on RUNE or something, okay? Which would mean that there is way more downside potential, down to 80 cents, perhaps even lower down to 50. Don't forget that in cryptos, when we're looking at wave 2, we do go low, okay? And we're currently just like close to the 50, which is where BTC, I assume, is around as well, if we take the beginning of the right wave, primary wave down at before the bull run started. So my one, and we are going at further down to complete wave 2. I see W, X, and Y, with W being a flat. This is a regular flat, guys, because we do the 90% exactly and would fail to do to go below the first wave, which means this is actually, it can be a regular flat, okay? And from there we have in wave X an expanded flat in wave X here. You see it, A, B, and C. So you got one flat and another flat, which means it's probably unlikely to get another flat. It's more rare to see 3 flats rather than to see 2 flats, okay? But still, 2 flats, it's amazing. That's why sometimes you just think of, like you for example, you're looking at a triangle that doesn't finish. Some people think, oh, this is a wedge. Oh, look at the sideways markets. But an Elliottian knows that it's a 5-wave triangle and a 9-wave triangle, or a triangle 5-wave with an ending wave E that is a triangle. So this is a bit, guys, it's so exciting. You have no idea. I'm sorry. Some of you do, and I'm happy you do. Now, we're waiting for wave Y. What can this be? Well, first of all, let's look at a few things. W and X. My 100 Fibo is not done. It's around 2. Okay, so 2 is becoming a very strong level. Second question, are we going to stop at 2 or not? Well, I'm looking at an ABC here, right? And I do know, and I'm with you, that if we looked at this as an A and a B and we're going down, you see, we are kind of extended already, right? So where are we going to go? And why is this wave Y, wave C in a simple zigzag going to extend that much? Well, it can extend as much, guys. Well, first of all, 2 things. The first thing is that we are in a last wave of a correction, okay? And usually we see spikes to the downside that extend more than 100%. 100% is a guideline. We follow the guidelines. It's done now, but it doesn't mean it's finished. Why? Well, because we see an impulse over here, and that impulse is a 3rd wave, not a 5th, to me. And internally, we're going to go lower down. You're going to see that we are having 4 waves, and we don't see the 5th yet. Okay? So, there is one thing I need to mention, and that's going to be, of course, something important, that in case we do see a decent upside on BTC, like above the 45, 40, even 45K, because the ending diagonal could actually get us there, then that also is expected to move higher. So we should be able to see something like this. Yeah, and then further downside. Now, for now, we're assuming this is A and B, and we're going to get C, right, closer to 2. And then I'm going to go lower and see a bit more. But also, we can have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here. And that extended move is not going to be a C, it's going to be a third of A. Then we see an ABC, and then we see another structure down. And that's going to be probably a zigzag. Okay, I don't think we're going to get another flat. It could be even a triangle. I don't think, though, that's going to be a case, especially if we break lower on BTC. And so we're between these two. Zigzag that is going to finish fairly soon. Is going to be a zigzag that is going to take much longer to finish, or a triangle. These are the three, I would say, structures that would hint at the short, the medium, and also the long-term outlook. And that's the reality. So let me now go, let's go to the 4 hours here, okay? And I want to show you the A and the B. And I want to show you why I think we have a 1, 2, and 3, and a 4. Well, because it looks like 1, 2, 3, and 4 so far, right? And fortunately or unfortunately, and again, in my opinion, I am looking at this as a leading diagonal in wave 1, and that we are correcting in wave 2. That means that there is no more upside expectation for RUNE, even if BTC does it. But of course, this is just one of the scenarios, and I'm basing this purely on the fact that this, okay, is a leading diagonal. However, and we have to mention that, it's, but without breaking the 384, I cannot have this as the main. It's very, very possible that we have a flat here, A, B, C. So that might be A, and that might be B, and we're gonna get, you know, wave C up here. Okay, very possible, I repeat. But I cannot have it below 384. So in this case, guys, that would mean that our wave 4 is here, and instead of having a leading diagonal here, we'll have an ending diagonal, which is part of an ABC flat. The C wave, it's the ending diagonal, okay? Now, what levels do we look at? Well, first of all, let's see what's going on with A and B. We extended quite a bit, as we said, but we can get down to 2, okay? And that might not even be hard, even as an ABC. It's just a C extended, because we're in the last wave, right, to complete the correction. If we go and put our Fibo here, we've already done the 38. So that's another reason why that might be done, wave 4 here, right? Might be done. Another reason. 1, 2, the 38 is done. But we also need to account for this. That brings us to 4, which is the 62. This is just the third wave rejection, retracement. And if we look a little bit higher at 440, we get a cluster of the 50 and the 38.2. So these levels are very important, guys. Okay, so if we do get something like a correction here and continuation to the upside, breaking the 380, our next target is 4 and then 440. But I don't think we're gonna go above 440, because otherwise we would invalidate the impulsiveness of this leg to the downside, as the fourth wave would actually go above the first. In that case, that would turn into an ending diagonal, but you know, ending diagonals don't come in that shape. And the diagonals take longer to complete A and B and C. They're not too fast, okay? So that's why, of course, we'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I will be looking at the previous high at 383 here, guys. I'll be also looking at to see if we start moving lower down, are we going to get a correction? Hold on. Like, for example, from here. 1 second. Are we going to get, you know, correct down to 62 or break below 62 or even the 50? Because breaking 3, again, yeah, increases the chances of moving lower, guys. Okay, which means, you know, my fourth might be done here, and this is a leading diagonal. Now, the most important, though, in case we start moving up in the short term, is the 381. Above 381, guys, let's not forget again, that becomes a WX, yeah, ABC, yeah, more like an a WX and Y. Which means this is going to be an A, B, and a C, okay? And according to that, then, of course, the idea would be that the correction low is already in, okay? and that would bring us up to around 418, then 465, 489, but obviously the invalidation is at 437, 440, let's not forget. Now before we go, I want to mention just a last thing here. Although I don't like it, that's why, you know, it's not really part of much of my account here. This could be an open leading diagonal, so which means wave A. But then again, we need to take into account that, well, what is this? You know, so it would be probably something like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for A, then B, and then C, which is a bit ugly. So yeah, I don't think there is an open-ended diagonal here, but keep that in mind as well. Okay, so that's gonna be all for this Quora Einer cycle Elliott wave update for you. Take care, trade safe, leave comments, and don't forget Discord is on. There are some special offers for you. Feel free to reach out.